Welcome to Chattin 88. If you're just driving now, that's great. Oh, every single week we have a guest, 'cause spending time with me is the best. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chattin 88 at 8. I'm your host, Curtis LaBelle, and welcome to tonight's live stream here on Facebook. Let me tell you how happy I am to actually get to this point tonight. We learn something new here with our team every single week, and I don't even want to say I'm stressed anymore, because I'm not, because no matter what happens, we right to the last minute, if we get things figured out, here we are, and I'm thankful that we can live stream and have the technology to bring me closer to you and share my lovely moments that I have throughout my day, my week, and then come back and bring them to you. Chattin 88's at 8. So let us dive right into today. A couple of things. Before we talk about our guest, which I will explain to the gentleman on there, they'll be on the right-hand side of the Zoom screen. There'll be the guest that comes in waiting. He'll be coming in around a quarter after, and then you'll just admit him in on the, you'll see there'll be a screen that pops up. All right, here we go. On this day, today is the 14th, right? Yes, October. We do have a live audience. We just didn't get that camera. We'll talk about that later. Who cares? On this day, October 14th, 1999, right? 1994. I'm reading a note here. 1994, Pulp Fiction was released in theaters. And do we have that album kicking around so we can show that Pulp Fiction? I saw it earlier. If someone can get me that, that'd be great. Pulp Fiction. If you haven't seen this movie, please make sure that you do, and take a good look at finding the soundtrack for that. We have it here on vinyl. Thank you so much. Pulp Fiction. So this is the soundtrack on vinyl, winner of the Best Picture 1994 Cannes Film Festival. How about that? I had no idea. Great movie. On this day, 1957, Wake Up Little Susie became the Everly Brothers' first #2 hit. How about that? I'm sorry it wasn't #1. Okay, on this day, 1966, Pink Floyd played their first ever underground set. That would be fun. I've never played an underground set. Maybe one day I will. On this day, 1959, Bobby Darin made #1 in the UK with Mac the Knife from the Threepenny Opera. How about that? He wasn't sitting on the dock of the bay then. All right, 1968, on this day, Jackson 5, 1, 2, 3, made their national TV debut on ABC's television's Hollywood Plays. How about that? On this day, 1972, another lovely individual from Jackson 5, Michael Jackson, made his #1 hit music chart with Ben. The two of us need luck no more. On this day. All right. Live show happening here today at the Vinyl Den in Red Deer, Alberta. You know, we had another wave of COVID hit. Here, let's do this. We had another wave of COVID hit. It's so sad. It is sad because we're not listening to what we need to do in order to make sure that we stop the curve of this, because I'm quite frankly getting tired of not being able to play as a musician. So do what you got to do in order to make sure to make yourself happy. And if that's wearing a mask, wear a mask. If it's not, then don't wear a mask. Whatever you want to do, just let's come together and solve the problem. Tonight, we have our album of the week is, since our theme today is musical theater and our guest is from Toronto, we'll talk a little bit more about him in a minute. And I'm just going to check the time here. All right. I thought this was really funny when we asked, we have an audience member or someone who comes into the Vinyl Den any point in time during the day. And our lovely photographer, I told him, I said, well, our theme is musical theater this week. And he went and chose our album of the week, which I'm not so sure is a musical. However, it should be. And if it's not, I'm disappointed in myself for not knowing it. But The Smurfs All-Star Show. All right. La, 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 la. Don't have the rights for that. The Smurfs All-Star Show is number 1, side 1. Welcome to Smurfland. Catch Me is number 3. Old Papa Smurf. Silly Shy Smurf. Smurfing Land Express. That's a little weird. Smurf a Happy Tune. I think I want a shirt that says that. On side 2. Now, this is an album. Okay, side 2, we have the clapping and jumping song, Yankee Doodle, London Bridge is Falling Down. Really? Smurfing Days, Space Smurfs, and Rockabye Baby. Fabulous. Distributed by Polygram. Tyler McKinnon. That is our guest for this evening. He is from Toronto. I just how are we doing over there? Is he by chance in the waiting room on Zoom? Just we're checking in. We're working on getting a lot of the technology away from me. He is in the waiting room, is he? Perfect. All right. So you know what? Without further ado, let's just dive right in and let's get Tyler McKinnon here. This is a gentleman who's become a good friend of mine. He was in the competition that I was in, or that I'm in, and I've just gotten to know him, and we have a couple of really cool projects that him and I are going to be working on in the future. But let's spill some dish with him towards you guys. Let's give a warm welcome to Tyler McKinnon, and we will bring him in. And hopefully we'll be able to hear him without any hesitation. Now, that is his real name. McKinnon, I think, is his stage name. So
hello. Hold on. Figuring this out.
Tyler, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Huzzah!
Oh, I think that's the first that's ever happened.
Where it's all gone to plan?
Yes, it's all going to plan. Will,
yes.
Would you just turn up the main volume a little bit there? Would that be great? Tyler, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. We're just going to turn the volume up on our end. If you could just tell us what the weather's like there.
It's very dark outside, so not 100% sure, but it's fall realness we're feeling right now. So you know what? Let me check for you. Alexa, what is the temperature outside? Nope, she didn't get it. All right, I think it's like 10 degrees.
Okay, well, that's perfect. We have, we can hear you, and it's 10 degrees there. We had about 7 inches of snow just south of Sylvan Lake, close to Innisfail here. It was rather disgusting.
Already?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really happy to be indoors, and I think we're going to have a warm conversation, and we're going to share a lot of really cool stuff with the people that are watching. And so, Tyler, thank you so much for joining with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. This is super fun. I love this.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, so this is how this is going to work. I'm going to ask you some generic questions, and you give me generic answers, and then I will ask you some in-depth questions, and you can give me whatever you'd like to say towards them. Is that all right?
I love it.
Perfect. I like what you're wearing, by the way. How apropos.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so let's just first off, let's get the McKinnon and the Smith figured out for my brain. So tell me the differences. One's a stage name, is an assumed name? Just clarify that for us.
Yes. So Tyler Smith is my legal name. I love my name. Let's first start with that. However, it is very generic. So it's a tough one, especially when doing musical theater. You are a dime a dozen if you're a Smith. It's a sad fact. So my full name is Tyler Daniel McKinnon Smith. So I thought, why not just use one of my middle names? I actually lived in the UK for a little bit. And I'm just looking to see if you're still there, Curtis. Are we back?
Hello, Tyler.
We're back. Are we back?
All right. Yeah, we're back. Are we
Okay.
still live on Facebook up there? Perfect. Wonderful. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the great things about technology is Tyler's across the country, and I'm on the other side of the country, and we still manage to get things going. So welcome back, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's just like live theater. It's just live Zoom. You just got to roll with everything, right?
Right? There's no. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So Smith McKinnon. So you're McKinnon because that you chose your middle name, right?
Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
Lovely. All right. Okay. So before we go off with that, I just wanted to get a little background on you here. We're going to just keep the audience from talking would be great. Thank you. You were originally from Leduc, now based in Toronto, right?
That is correct. Yes, Leduc,
Right.
Alberta.
Okay. Now you went to Grant Mac as well, correct?
Yes, I did the musical theater program there.
Okay. When did you move to Toronto?
I jumped around a little bit. So I graduated the McEwen program in 2013, I think it was. And then I moved to London, England, where I lived there for 2 years, or 3 years actually now. And then I left there and came to Toronto in 2016. So I just kind of all over the place. I've been here since 2016.
A bit of a gypsy, right?
Exactly. Aren't all theater folk, you know.
I don't even think I have enough fingers and toes to count how many places I have moved in this country.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a master's in musical theater performance. Is that correct?
I do. Yes, I do.
How long was that program?
That program was kind of accelerated. It was a 12-month program. So we started in September, and then we went all the way to the following September. And our sort of thesis, if you will, in a true musical theater fashion, was performing in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So we got to do 2 different shows as sort of our end of year type of thing that we did, which was super fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I say here, I did some research on you and I was checking out your page.
I'm impressed.
You top 12 this was a mouthful. Top 12 in the Stephen Sondheim Society Student Performer of the Year for 2014, right?
The SSSS potty or whatever it was. Yes, exactly.
Say that again.
SSSS potty.
Got it. I love it. I want a shirt that says that. Just quickly tell us, okay, for those of you who are familiar with who Stephen Sondheim is, great. For those of you who aren't familiar with Stephen Sondheim is, sad.
I agree.
Right. I mean, every musical theater person knows who this gentleman is.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
He has the same birthday as Andrew Lloyd Webber, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're correct. Yes.
And their birthday is the 22nd of March, I think.
Nice.
Could be
Okay.
wrong. I'm so close. Mine is the 24th of March. So I've always felt that I was connected to those two gentlemen.
Oh, so birthday week. It's the same thing.
I've celebrated it for as long as I've known musical theater to be a part of my life. What was it like to be a part of the top 12 with that Stephen Sondheim project?
Really, really thrilling, daunting, exciting. I definitely learned a lot. I went into it, I think, sort of having a preconception of being like, I guess I'll just, I've got this, or this feeling of like, yeah, I know who I am with this. And I saw these amazing competitors that I was with that taught me so much doing it. So I think I came out of it being more aware, I guess, of how much further I could go with things. I was like, okay, out of school, I need some more perspective in the world. Like this is fantastic. This is very good talent here. So, got to up my game. But I really loved it.
What? Okay, so let's just step back a couple of years, however many years you want to step back. Why did you decide to do musical theater? What was the reason you chose that avenue?
Yeah, I studied voice for years, and my teacher always, taught classical music to me. And there was one year that she let me do a musical theater song, and I was 13 or 14, I think. And I did, I don't know if you know the show from Santa Fe, before it became a big, huge musical. There was the title song, Santa Fe. And I Oh, sorry, Newsies. What am I talking about? The song is Santa Fe.
I know you had said
Newsies.
Santa Fe, and I was like,
You're
no,
like,
I'm pretty sure I think you're talking about Newsies.
Newsies. Yep, 100%. Sorry, everyone. Newsies. So I did Santa Fe at my local musical theater place that we had there, and it was just love, like immediate rush of love of performing, and that I never felt before. And I just knew, like, I need to do this. I need to do more of this. So that's kind of just started me, and I just kind of went from there, and you know, did different shows, did different workshops.
Did you do the, when you did it, did you do the New York accent? I got a funny story about Newsies. Did you do that accent?
No, I did not. Like, I was full on Canadian, I'm sure, if there was anything in there.
You know, I had the worst New York accent for that. And let me tell you what, in high school, we did some small snippets from Newsies. We just kind of took some songs and did a little review of it.
Nice.
Our drama teacher did.
Great show.
And I ended up playing Jack for whatever little bits that we did. And I was the worst, like the worst role I think I've ever been cast in.
Oh my God.
Totally wrong person to play the role of Jack. Like, so here I am singing Santa Fe with that. So that's what you call a family. It's just...
Yes.
The worst New York accent. Santa Fe, oh, you there? So
Where's the paint?
horrible.
Yeah.
You know, why can't I think of the gentleman who played him on Broadway? Why can't
Oh, Jeremy Jordan.
Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah.
I can't. Nobody can give justice to the role. Well, you know. Oh my God. Okay, and why can't I think of what's his face who did him in the movie?
Oh, Christian Bale. Batman.
Christian Bale. Batman played Jack in Newsies. What year was that? What year was Newsies? Newsies the movie. Somebody find out what that is. Google that. Newsies the movie.
Disney.
Here, let me see it. Let me see if she's listening. Hey Alexa, what year did Newsies come out?
The film Newsies was released about 28 years ago on April 10th, 1992.
1992, April 10th. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to point out, so Google, I just told... No, Alexis, that's not Google, right?
That was Alexa, yeah.
Okay, see, I don't know. That was really funny.
Oh,
what's your favorite color, my friend?
Green.
What's your least favorite color?
Brown, I guess?
Did you say brown?
I said brown, yeah.
Okay. I thought you said ground, which is brown.
Brown, which is brown?
What is your favorite sound?
Favorite sound? Ooh, like wind blowing through trees.
Right on. What's your least favorite sound?
Fire alarms. Any type of fire alarm in a building, it's just grating. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, but I hate it.
Okay, before we get you into your first song to bring us to your lovely music, I just wanted to find out what influenced you. Well, let me rephrase the question. Who in the musical theater industry as a performer, what male artist or female artist or show made you go, okay, yeah, I really enjoy this person. I'd like to learn that, or, you know, not base your sound off of that individual, but who do you really enjoy as a musical theater artist that kind of went, oh, okay, I can do this?
That I kind of enjoy, yeah, I like what they do. One that actually, when I was in college, that sort of influenced a lot of what I performed and did was Brian Darcy James. So I love, first of all, I love someone with a 3-name name. It's excellent. Like, you got to have, you know, 2 isn't enough. Got to add a 3rd in there. He was in stuff like The Wild Party. He was in Shrek, the musical. He played Shrek. Is the most recent thing that he did. And he's just got this very deep, sort of rich sound to it. So as a musical theater artist, he was somebody that I was like, I can do that, and I want to. His voice was so free. Like, there was no restriction when he got up into that big sort of stuff. It looked effortless. And so kind of something that I always strove for was that. Another artist that I really like recently today, who's kind of bridging the lines a little bit of theater and also just performance, is Ben Platt. He's created his own solo career off of Dear Evan Hansen and you know, Pitch Perfect.
Have you seen Dear Evan Hansen?
I have. I didn't see it obviously with him, unfortunately, which was a real bummer. But I saw the Toronto production, which was fantastic. And it's such a great show. It's such an amazing show. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have. Yeah. Now, I saw the Broadway across Canada when it came to Edmonton here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but he's one that's just taken that momentum and just ran with it and has his whole solo career that's going now. And I'm just like, wow, you're living in both worlds. I love that.
I know my husband yesterday or this morning was playing his music on his solo career, and there's some really good stuff that he's been putting out. So Good on you, Ben. Speaking of solo career, why don't you what are you going to sing for us first?
I'm going to sing. So both songs I'm going to do tonight are kind of musical theater inspired. I wanted to fit the theme.
Okay, first of all, whoa. Are you singing the one you just put out?
No, that's going to be the second one I'm going to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Because I'm going to talk about that one.
Yes, of course. I was going to leave that for last. No, this one I'm going to do is called Something Different. Both of these songs tonight kind of fit a theme of moving away into a better general direction. And I think kind of what it feels like with the pandemic and people are sort of just like at their wits' end with things and feels like that, it feels heavy right now. It's sort of a positive spin. This one is at least on that. Yeah. So should I take it away?
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get our tech to mute our camera and our microphone. So you take it away and we'll be good to go. And I'll just, we'll do that right now in 3.
All right, here we go. Something different. I'm ready for something new. The birds in the sky, the clouds rolling by, and troubles are far and few. Something different, unbroken, untouched. A place on the shelf that's all for myself. Is that asking for too much? Hey, today wasn't all that it could have been, no. But you say you gotta say it all with a grin, 'cause deep down in your heart you can start to feel something different. And it won't be long now. And won't it be sweet when life is complete and you know just who you are? Na 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 na. What else can you do? Na 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 na. Just keep on pushing through. Hey, today wasn't all that it could have been, no. But you say you gotta say it all with a grin, 'cause deep down in your heart you can start to feel. 'Cause deep down in your heart you can start to feel something new, oh, something different. And it won't be long now. Life raised the bar, but you made it this far. So keep on, just keeping on. Na 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 na. What else can you do? Na 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 na. Just keep
All right. Can you hear me, Tyler?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay. First of all,
Yes.
I wanted to know, okay, when did you write that song?
2018, I think.
Okay, so that's in a file folder ready to go, right? Is that released anywhere or nothing?
Haven't released it anywhere.
Okay, so put that on the shelf for now.
Putting it on the shelf.
Perfect.
Done.
In that, I wanted to say what hit me was that sudden key change, and then you went into a modulation out of nowhere.
Yep.
Hair standing on my neck, girlfriend.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely amazing. So what are your thoughts about being told that's not who you are in the music industry? This is what I think you are. And how do you take that? And I'm speaking of the recent experience you've had with The Shot, if you will.
Yes.
And tell me how amazing it has been for you to take what you have been told in a positive, constructive form, and it like rising above from that, not being beaten down and not being like, oh, now I'm just gonna go flip burgers because I'm told.
Okay, I guess this is it. Totally. I first want to start off by saying the experience with The Shot, and obviously as you're still doing, it was fantastic, and I loved it, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I got with them. And I think exactly what you're saying was sort of an opportunity. Depends on how you take it, you know? Like there's people that are telling you, who are professionals in their industry, who are saying, we're hearing you as something different than your look. And that's an opportunity you need to take to say, okay, this is something where whatever my look is right now is not reflecting my sound. Obviously, I need to take a little more time to look in depth and figure out, what is my look? What is my sound? Play with some things, try some things. They might not have the right idea. Like they suggested a couple things to me, and that might not sit right with me. That might not be it, but it's also important. That's a valuable piece of information they gave me, because before that, I'm kind of going along being like, yeah, I think I've got this figured out. I think I'm a full package that I can use with this, and you know, there's always room for improvement. So it's definitely hurts in the moment to hear that sort of feedback.
Always does.
It does. It definitely. But the important thing, I think, is not letting it consume you, and that sort of being like the end all. That's it. It's taking that away and finding what is useful and what you can use to get better. Because let's be honest, you don't get better if you always get it right. You know. You have to mess up. You got to mess up to correct things.
I can't agree with you anymore.
Yeah.
I would put that in bold letters, and if I had a plane that could fly a flag, however long that sentence is that you said, I would carry that around everywhere I went.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
So, okay, you tell me the difference between your idea of being a singer-songwriter and someone who's now, look, I'm gonna assume you have an inner turmoil with this because you write great music, Tyler. What is your, if any, inner struggle of being that singer-songwriter who wants to be that solo artist and put out singles and go in a different direction? Whereas, you know, the phone call we had the other day when I phoned you up and I gave you, you know, we talked about pitching the idea that I had said to you about a project, because I believe I see something different in my own humble opinion. How do you feel about that inner struggle of what you want to do, and what do you do to stay focused? What tools do you use to keep yourself focused in the direction you're going with your music career?
Well, I think no matter what ends up happening, whether I do, you know, release more as an individual artist or things move more towards just writing for other artists, I think the tool that helps me most is I know that regardless of if I'm singing a song or not, I need to write something that strikes true, that is going to be something that people can relate to and that's universal. So that is sort of a guiding compass for me, whether or not I'm considering a song for someone else, or if I think, well, I maybe could do a good job with this. And I think that sets me up well, because even if I don't perform the song, if I've made it in a way, if I've constructed something that I know someone listens to and says, I get that, I feel that, I understand that, I've succeeded, I've done exactly what I want to do. At that point, whether I perform it or someone else performs it, it's still that, it's still that truth that I can get through that song. So as an artist, I feel fulfilled in that moment. That's the thing that's super fulfilling for me. With the performing aspect of it, I'm still identifying a little bit of my brand. I'm still figuring out exactly how I fit with that. And there's certain things of my work that I'm like, I like this song in my voice. And there's other certain things that I look at and I'm like, someone else, I really want someone else to sing this. Like I can think of somebody else that I'm like, oh, this would be cool if they sang this. So yeah, I guess I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the sort of still stumbling and figuring it out and, performing some of my stuff. Like I said on the phone to you, my ultimate dream would be to write music for others, because I think that's the part that I really enjoy. And I really like to see what other people do with my stuff too. Like I know what I can do with it. And then if I give it to someone else and say, okay, what's your interpretation? Take it away. And that's super exciting, because then you just get a whole different amount of ideas that come through from this person who's like, oh, this is how I interpret it. So that's super exciting. Yeah.
Well, like I get off on the same thing when it comes to writing music generally. I myself, I've only been doing my own music, lyrics and music and lyrics for just over a year now, but have been doing music for, eons.
Yeah.
But I know that I can certainly say, back to the conversation that we had said, and for those of you who are pay attention here now, Tyler, because I'm going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit.
Oh,
for those of you who know who Pasek and Paul is, you might want to watch out for Smith and LaBelle, because two bald and bearded men might be taking over soon.
Yeah, I was going to Dear Evan Hansen. If you know Dear Evan Hansen, you know Pasek and Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Or a Christmas Story, or Edges,
Yep,
or Dogfight, right? Anyway, those are and La La Land.
Oh, how can you forget? Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, yes, of course.
Right. Oh, and The Greatest Showman.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The list goes on. Okay, Tyler.
Yes.
Let's switch to pop rock music here, R&B industry. Let's go to mainstream music and go off of musical theater. Let's put that off to the side for a second.
All right.
Who do you like in mainstream music? Who's your biggest fan? Or who's your biggest fan? Who are you a fan to?
Okay. I have a couple. I actually wrote down because I was like, don't forget this. So I actually put Ben Folds, Sara Bareilles, Charlie Puth, and Jan Arden, because I had to include a Canadian in there as well.
Okay, who do you hate? And when I say hate, I mean, who do you dislike? When you listen to when the song comes on the radio, you turn the dial.
I turn the dial. Oh gosh. That's a really tough question for someone.
Don't think. What don't think? Comes on the radio. What do you change? What comes on that you don't like? You're like, oh, that's nasty.
Hillary Duff.
Hillary Duff.
Fluff.
Oh, we haven't had
Fluff.
her yet.
I don't like fluff.
What was your first concert that you went to?
I think it's the Dixie Chicks, actually. Shania explain?
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure, with my parents when we were younger.
And how much were the tickets?
Oh, I was not privy to that information.
Okay. Where was it?
It was in Edmonton at Rexall Center, which is now no longer being used, I think, as the main place.
Right.
Yeah.
Rogers now is.
Yeah.
When was your first concert, and did people pay for tickets to come see you?
Oh, my first concert, I was part of a band called Nestor's Landing. This was when I was like 16 or 17. We were like a folk rock something band. And we performed at a coffee shop near University of Alberta campus. I don't remember the name of it though, but I think I'm pretty sure we charged like a cover at the door for it. And it was very nerve-wracking, but super fun. I remember, yes.
But you got paid for it, right?
I mean, as much as you get paid for a first gig, where you maybe have like $100 in hand, you're like, yes, here it is, I did it.
Right? Were you the type of person that like would frame your first $5 bill or first check from a gig? Did you do that?
I'd spend that. I'd spend it on something. I'm not sentimental in that aspect.
I mean, if not, I think Billy Joel did the same thing with his first large check of whatever amount of money it was. So he did say he went and bought his first grand piano so he can do it.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant is right. Let's talk about your new adventure, wanting to, you're going to be leaving us in this country. So it was nice to, I mean, not that we can't do another interview down the road with you. You're still Canadian. That's our main moral here at Chattin 88 is to promote Canadian content in all forms of the industry and the arts. But you're going to be going overseas pretty soon to a lovely place where musical theater is in the heart of
it, the West End. There's no place like London. To London, yes. Coming up here right away. Oh, here we go.
All right. I told everybody this is two musical theater geeks getting together today who knew a bunch of shit.
Can I also throw in, because I was watching the pre-show thing before I came on, Smurfs the musical needs to be a thing.
Dude!
It's not a thing, but it needs to be a thing. Why is it not a thing?
I'm sure it is. It's got to be somewhere. Like Nickelodeon probably bought rights to that and did nothing with it, right?
They're just sitting on it. They're waiting. Exactly.
I mean, if SpongeBob can be a musical.
Oh, come on. And they had the Smurf movies. The time is right. Anyone who is a big producer, Smurfs, the musical needs to happen. Come on.
I bet you the rights aren't available for it.
I bet you're right.
Okay. Let's move on to your next song. Now, what is the name of it again, Tyler? Forgive my ignorance.
It's okay. It's One Step.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I heard that Tyler you wrote this song a while back, and then you just kind of finally decided to record it and put a video out on YouTube. Is that right? You just decided to do it and be like, I'm doing this now.
Yep. I one day was just plunking around at some old songs, and it kind of really resonated with me, and I just made a decision with over a couple of days to record it and put it up.
There are no words other than, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you feel like I have any say or any clout in the music industry or believe a word I say, but I don't connect to a lot of songs. I have my own emotional attachment to certain things and unattachment. And there are two songs recently. One is by a gentleman, and he's not Canadian, great artist. His name is Ben Rector. I highly recommend him. You know who I'm talking about? Ben Rector.
Writing his name down though. So
oh my God, Ben Rector, Rector. I think that's right.
Thank you.
And you just Spotify Ben Rector, and I want you to listen to the song Extraordinary Magic. And everything on that. But anyway, besides the point, the next song that I've really connected to is your song. And I had to phone you immediately, and I did, because the lyrics that you had sang are literally my life for the last 3 years. And this song was the song, guys, who, if you're watching, that I had pitched the idea of working with Tyler on a larger capacity with musical theater. Tyler, tell us a little bit about this song, where the lyrics come from. I mean, you know, you've written them, but what is your little story behind it? And before we go into it, just give us some background on it.
100%. It's a standalone song that I wrote. I to start off, I didn't have a set idea of, characters in mind. The feeling sort of that went with it was, I mean, I grew up in a small town. And by all means, like it's wonderful. I love Leduc, and I cannot rave enough about it. I think going to a small school like I went to a Catholic school. I'm gay. I never came out while I was in school, and I never. There was always this sort of attention that I had of trying to be who I thought I was supposed to be, as my role fit within this community. And it took leaving the community to realize there's other things that I can look at and do, and it's not saying anything about anyone else's choice and what they choose to do, but for my own journey, what I needed was that space and that distance. And this sort of is this side of the song where this person hasn't figured that out yet. They're hoping for something more. They're wishing for something more than what they have, and not really sure how to get there. But they know that eventually it's going to happen, and that's all they have to hold on to, is that hope.
Like when I said that this was, I mean, not representing my life, but it's one of the very, 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 very few songs that I actually, I'm not going to lie, Tyler, all the views I'm pretty sure that are on your YouTube song right now is probably because of me.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
And again, when you now, are you going to play the piano, or do you have a backtrack you're going to sing with us? I want to sing it.
I was going to play the piano with it, so it's just a more stripped down version of it.
So I just wanted to preface here. If you want to hear, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this song, I'm sure, Tyler, you're going to do a great job on the piano, but I have to say what did you do with the arrangement that you did, like from the backtrack? You made that backtrack, right?
Yeah. So I played the piano part that I'm going to play today, and then I added in these bell effects, and I started it off very slow, where it was like every maybe quarter note, and then slowly, progressively got more and more. And I kind of wanted to use that as a theme of either thoughts progressing or steps, literal steps. So it's the pace at which things move, of that sort of emotional drive of really, feeling like there could be more. And then I also just had a synth pad that I put in the back that just kind of filled everything out nicely.
Nice. Yeah. And just for the people who are in the recording industry and have home studios, what programs do you use?
I use Cubase right now, which I'm switching over. Sorry, Cubase, you're great, but it's not as user-friendly as what I'm moving on to now, which is going to be Logic Pro. I'm starting to learn how to use that one now, which I've heard is great.
Awesome.
Yes.
Perfect. I don't use either of those, but I definitely think that I need to upgrade. I use Magic Studio, Mixcraft. I use Mixcraft.
Mixcraft. Okay, I've never heard that one. That's cool.
I've used it for over 10 years, and I've just upgraded all the time. But it's user friendly for me, and I feel like if the shoe fits, don't change it right now.
Fair.
And I have a lot of shoes. Tyler, I'm going to get our tech guy to mute the camera and the microphone, and I want you to indulge us with this lovely song, and we will listen to it. Thank you so much for this song, Tyler.
Thank you. One step, then another, new hope to discover. You'll find in time it won't be so hard. Just one step, you can do it. One step, when you're through it, you'll find those footsteps will carry you far, far from the ones who keep pushing you down, and far from the weight of your fate in this town. A new life that's waiting out there to be found. Then another, that's waiting out there to be found. Take one step, then another. All of the pain that keeps welling inside, all of the fears that you desperately hide, all of the hope that you'll find a place where you fit in. Let it begin. Far from the ones who keep pushing you down, and far from the weight of your fate in this town. A new life that's waiting out there to be found. Take one step, then another.
So Tyler, thank you for writing that song because orchestrations are underway, my friend.
I love it. Bless. Bless.
What did you say? Sorry.
I said bless.
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 I like, and the best part about it is I'm writing it out by hand. That's how I orchestrate on big sheets of paper.
Oh my gosh, old school. Yes, I love that.
I cannot write on computer first. What I do is I'll transcribe. I'll get somebody to transcribe it. So I write it out by hand. I've written every large work that I've done that way: symphony, violin suite, anything of the sort. It's all out by hand. So I have these big, thick, handwritten scores.
Oh my gosh. How long does that take you? Is that like you must be pretty quick at it now.
It takes me about 6 months to write 13 minutes.
Okay.
So that's for about a 26 piece.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. That's
so about 26 piece, about 6 months. And that for average, how many hours is that? I would say that's about 4 days out of the week, averaging at about 5 hours every day, every of those 4 days. So 20 hours a week. So 20 hours a week, 2 and 4 is 8, 80 hours a month. 6 times 8 is 32. So 6 times 8 is 32. 6 and 8 is 32. 6 and 8 is 7 and 8. Is that right?
48. 6 times 8 is 48.
I'm a musician, people. I am not a mathematician, and that's probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened on this.
It's all good.
I don't know multiplication. Anyway, you do the math, and that's the amount of numbers that is for writing. But then again, I know John Williams still writes everything out by hand, and that was one of the reasons why I write out by hand, is because I think it's important to be connected to the, the craft of what it is that I'm writing.
I agree. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know.
Tyler.
Yes.
If Smurfs isn't a musical, we should figure out how to get the rights to that.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. Like, I'm shocked it hasn't happened already.
Right. I have some friends who have written a new Popeye the musical that's going to be at the Fringe next year.
No way. What's it called?
Popeye the musical.
Oh, Popeye. Sorry, I heard Pop by musical, and I was like, that must be like a Fringe term. I'm just gonna go with it. Popeye. Sorry. Okay, I got you.
I like yours better. That's funny. We should do that.
Popeye. Yeah.
No, it's very exciting. You can go, it's on social media. Speaking of social media, Tyler, I think I've got everything correct here that I've written down. Tyler McKinnon artist, Tyler/McKinnon, that's McKinnon.com, right?
Yes.
And we can find you on Facebook at Tyler McKinnon artist, and Instagram is Tyler McKinnon 1. Is that correct?
Correct. T McKinnon 1.
T McKinnon 1.
Yes, at T McKinnon 1.
At T McKinnon 1. Are you on Twitter?
I am, but I never use it.
Me too. I never use Twitter. Talk about not having a platform that's useful to you.
Well, it's just like it's a lot of like thought moment things, and I never know what to say in the moment.
Well, I spend more time on Twitter scrolling up to catch up to see what's going on rather than posting.
There's a lot, yeah.
It is. Tyler, I think we've gotten to that time of the night. I wanted to, before we finish the show here, and just to say another thank you so much for sharing with us your experiences in musical theater, your process for songwriting, your music, your voice. And I wanted to say, I enjoy the subway tile in your kitchen. I like your bananas. And do you use the umbrella that's behind you to fly away on a nice windy day like Mary Poppins?
Exactly, Mary Poppins. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This has been so wonderful and such a fun time. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Tyler. I'm going to get you to bow out and leave the meeting, and then I'll continue on with the show here. So thank you so much, Tyler, and we'll make sure that we spread the word for who you are and get as many people as we can to replay and watch this lovely episode on Shaw.
Woohoo! All right, sounds good.
Have a great night, Tyler. Thank you, buddy.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler McKinnon, professional name Tyler McKinnon, real name Tyler Smith. You can follow him on social media. And I think that brings us to about the evening here. I don't have a closing song, but we did write a new theme song for Chattin' 88s today. We've given that to our technician, and he's going to be adding that to our lovely replays on Shaw. And maybe we might be just adding some new replays and edited versions of the live streams we've been doing. Who knows? I think Smurfs would be a great show. I choose to wear a mask. I don't eat yellow snow. And thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Curtis LaBelle. Ladies and gentlemen, peace.